Hello and welcome to the E14 Gamecast. I'm Rob and I'm joined by Blake.
Hi.
Hello.
Howdy. You alright?
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
You? Nice. Well, we're on a slightly different, as much like if you've already heard the crazy train that's gone out accompanying this.
If
there is one, then you'll know that we're doing a lot of experimentation this evening as part of a attempt to foray into some of my new kit and see what works well and what doesn't work so well and what I need to tinker with and learn how to use properly like a normal person.
Yeah.
So lesson learned. I need more time with the multi-track recorder to know what the fuck I'm doing. Lesson learned, problem solved, job done, and we move on.
Yeah.
On the other hand, this sounds quite nice.
Yeah. Sounds
quite
alright to me. Well,
yeah.
as far as I can hear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can just hear your voice, so that's fine. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that makes perfect sense to me. So I thought we'd just, since it's just the two of us, we would just talk about some of the stuff we've played and some of the stuff we've enjoyed. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right,
that's
sweet.
delicious.
Why don't you go first?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, on my main game at the moment I'm playing through is Watch Dogs 2.
Oh, nice.
Which enjoying at the moment. I suppose I'm not as blown away as I wanted to be with it, I suppose, is the problem. Like, I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's definitely a massive improvement on the first game.
All right.
But my biggest gripe, I don't know. Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, it is a sequel. It is still, you know, if you didn't enjoy Watch Dogs, there's nothing new there that will really grab you.
Yeah.
You know, it's still the main crux of the game is still, you know, sneaking into buildings, waiting to be seen, you know, that sort of thing. And obviously hacking things, but by using like cameras and what I'd say was the best new addition is the fact you now have your own little you have a drone and you also have like a little remote control car hopper thing.
Okay.
Which they're really cool because you can actually hack some things with them and you don't even have to go into the building. Nice. Providing you're close enough. And but obviously if they get seen, they can get taken out quite easily. But,
okay.
So that adds a bit more variety to the game. So and also the hacking is more powerful in it. So there are some benefits there.
I just bought a copy actually. It's in the fridge.
Oh, okay.
Your
nice see-through
cold games on a hot day. Yeah. In my cupboard. Cupboard is the word I was looking for.
No. As I said, if you like the first game, you will enjoy it. It's just I not that I finished the game yet, so I might be completely, you know, it might be a revelation at the end of the game that might completely change my feelings towards it. But at the moment, I'm thinking it's good, but not the massive game changer that I wanted it to be, if you know what I mean.
I suppose it suffers from the Ubisoft thing is traditionally first game is good but a bit repetitive, and then the second one does all these amazing things. Yeah,
it's there is more stuff to do in the game. There is a bit more variety. Mm-hmm. The whole map is open to you, so it's not like the usual Ubisoft problem of you have to climb a tower or you have to hack a tower or whatever to do that. So at least they've that is gone, which is probably actually the nicest thing to say about the Ubisoft games, really. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Just because the whole thing feels a bit repetitive. It feels like, you know, Assassin's Creed done to get to death, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've did a fair bit of The Division before Christmas, and that was kind of a little bit. After a while, you just grind fest. It's just really jarring. Yeah, and as I said, the best thing about it is that it makes it more fun. The characters are a lot more likeable than Aidan Pierce, and you know. And whilst some characters return in the game from the first one, that you know, they do add to the storyline and they're still good within themselves. If you know what I mean. So and it does still tie in with the first game. So it's not like they because I thought I was a bit worried when the first game came out and it wasn't the success they wanted it to be. I was a bit worried they were just going to do like soft reboot again and just start from the beginning again. Yeah, at least it keeps it in the world, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying that.
We'll switch over and I'll do one quickly.
Yeah. We'll all talk.
So the first thing I finished after Christmas was the first series of The Walking Dead. So you remember we talked about this a while back, and I think it was on previous Gamecast, where I had a real problem getting past number 3 because I needed a break because of all the feels.
Yeah, I must admit I need to actually do that again from the beginning, and because we stopped after 3 and we never.
So that's what we ended up doing was because Jen hadn't seen me play 1 to 3 because I played them with my sister, I think.
Okay.
Because what happened was I watched my sister play the whole series, I started playing my own version, my own playthrough, and then I got to number 3, and I was like, I'll come back to it in a bit, and I never did.
Yeah.
So obviously, because Jen had never seen 1 to 3, I just decided to go back from the beginning again. Yeah. So we did the whole series, and that was tough. It's
I've heard it is powering, not like, even though weirdly, I have guesses about what happens, because I think, even though I've never really actually heard the official spoilers of it,
you can kind of get there.
I'm going from the fact of what I've seen of season 2 onwards. I can pretty much guess that certain things happen, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I finished those. I know you don't count them as separate games, but I do, so I counted it as 2 because I'd finished 4 and 5 after Christmas.
Okay, yeah, I normally, when I complete a series or a entire thing...
it's just a difference in how we track it, really. I mean, so fun fact for the listeners who are not familiar with this, we both keep a list of what we've played that year. Yours you do as a photo album on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I normally have
do mine. On Facebook. Mine's in a super groovy spreadsheet on my phone.
Okay.
I collect everything, so I do movies, which has really stormed ahead this year. Games, series, books, and comic arcs. So I do like basically trade paperback kind of level. So it's like I don't just do a single comic. I do a run of 5 or 6, like the kind you'd get in a trade, like in a graphic novel.
Yeah, okay.
That sort of. When I say that, when the story arc's resolved, I was basically like, right. It's nice and easy with Star Wars because I've been reading a lot of the Legends comics on Marvel Unlimited.
Okay, yeah.
And most of the comics are single-contained long issues. Yeah. So they're like 45, 50 pages, but they do a whole story from start to finish.
Yeah, and then it's done. Yeah.
Or they come in 5 parts, which is really easy, and then they change slightly, like the subtitle changes or something.
Yeah, like new arc or whatever.
Yeah, I was reading all the ones with the Zambong.
Okay.
And they were really quite like them, actually. Even though they're not canon anymore, I quite like reading the old Legends stuff.
They are good. Because I did like Legacy before that.
Yes, that's on Unlimited. I need to finish it.
Yeah, I did enjoy. I read like the first 4 or 5 trades, I think. Mm-hmm. And then I must admit I never finished it because I know there was also a sequel.
Yes. But Legacy. I think it's just called Legacy Part 2, actually.
Yeah, I think it is. But I do need to go back and actually read them all. And now they're on Unlimited, I should do.
Yes, really. Indeed.
So, yeah. But anyway, I've done about 6 games so far.
Yeah, likewise.
This year.
Yeah.
Some of them are short games, like I did Firewatch, which...
Oh yeah, you're saying about that. How is that?
Yeah, really, really good. Okay. I'm always a bit wary of some of these walking walking simulator games.
Walking through scenery simulators.
Yeah,
but they are nice.
A bit worried, but this one had a bit more to it. It felt there were like certain elements that it added a little bit more to do it. It is still that in essence, but it had a bit more. There was a couple of elements where it was a little bit more point and click. If you know what I mean, you had to grab certain items and stuff. The puzzles were fairly easy. There was nothing massively difficult. But you at least felt involved rather than, say, Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, which is a beautiful game and has a nice, interesting story.
Really is stunning.
But I must admit, in terms of interaction, you don't really do a lot.
No, it really is just kind of find the next bit of story for that bloke or woman and then move on to the next thing for that bloke or woman. And then you might see their story resolve if you find it all. But if you don't, then you just wander around aimlessly like I did for a whole evening until you find.
But the thing that makes it is that the character you play and the character you're talking to, like, because basically the basic premise is that you're a Firewatch Ranger in America, in like obviously very lovely, lush area.
And you're presumably guardian of the Firewatch.
Yeah, you're basically watching it in the summer, basically raising it if any fires start, trampling out fires if any teens turn up and are not breaking the rules of the national park, that sort of thing.
So does the Firewatch track the time at which fires start, or is it a different kind of watch?
Who watches the Firewatch?
I'm trolling you now, so don't worry about it.
But and it's pretty much like he's come from a tough relationship and he's gone there, and and it sort of relates to the relationship between you and this other guy, this lady you're talking to on there. But obviously there is a sort of a mystery element which starts building up around it, and obviously not to give too much away, it does build up around it. And it becomes quite clever towards the end.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely worth pursuing. And like everyone's gone to the Rapture, you could probably play it in an afternoon, really. But
I mean that was kind of an evening for me.
So I mean, I picked it up in a sale. I mean, I paid about £8 for it, which is about half the price of what I think it retailed for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's definitely one of the better gaming experiences I've played recently.
Cool.
Apart from that, I think I've finished working my way through all of the first-person shooter fare. So
so we'll come to those in a second. We'll swap over.
Yeah.
So after that, I played the Deadly Tower of Monsters on your recommendation.
Okay. Yeah.
And that game's so much fun.
Yeah, I must admit, I need to go back and finish it. I only played it for like an hour, but just for that hour, I sort of loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it took me about a weekend, I think, to finish it completely. It's not a long game.
No, I've heard it's not a massively long game. No. And I think if I'd sat there and carried on playing it, I think someone told me where I was already like a third of the way through the game.
It might have been me, yeah. I'll tell you what, though, it does some really clever stuff, which a lot of games don't do. Like, for instance, the whole Deadly Tower of Monsters thing. Obviously, you're going up this tower. You can jump off any time and go straight down to the bottom.
And it doesn't matter. There was that jumping through the rings thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how far up you are. That will always be the case as well. You can just plummet all the way to the bottom and then just hit the button to jump back up. And as long as you don't hit the ground first, then you're good.
Yeah, it was a game that I thought like, if you were to classify it against other games, it's fairly generic, really.
Yeah.
But what made the game for me was the fact it was the whole send up of B movies.
It's got so much personality.
The director doing all the commentary is brilliant. He's really, really funny.
It's nice. It's a nice looking game as well.
Yeah. As I said, it's not a bad looking game considering it's it's essentially an indie title. Really, it's not. Yeah. It's not a AAA game or anything.
Yeah.
And also it has lovely. I felt that it had lovely touches, like I was saying, like the shonky dinosaurs, like
moving stop motion and stuff.
Moving in stop motion.
Yeah, the animation stuff on it is wonderful.
It was the moment I first saw a stop motion dinosaur. That was the moment I fell in love with it.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where I was playing through it and I was like, oh man, I wish I'd known this was this much fun. I would have done some sort of let's play or some sort of I'd done a video for YouTube or something. I
saw the game when it first came out and I sort of looked at it and I went, oh, it's probably not that great. But then when it actually came out on PS Plus and I played it, I was like, oh, I wish I'd actually picked it up earlier.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was kind of glad I picked it up on Plus because I think for the length of it, if I'd paid anything more than sort of £5 or £10, I might have felt a little bit aggrieved because let's say it's not a massively short game.
I don't think it was ever that much money when it came out. I think it was probably like £8 when
maybe
it came
12
out.
at a push. Yeah,
I think it was about £8 when it first came out. So.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'd say I really liked it. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, as I say, I need to go back and finish it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it as well.
Well, it's like a twin stick shooter, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, but it's just like I say, it's really charming. It's got a lot of tons of personality, and it's really, like you say, it sends up the B movie kind of era really nicely.
Yeah, I mean, if you like old B movies and stuff, then definitely check it out.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Trying to think of other games, but possibly one that's I'll do an oldie now because this is one that actually has taken me over 20 years to actually complete, and I actually completed it beginning of this year.
Okay.
Secret of Monkey Island.
Oh yeah, you talked about when we spoke last. You mentioned this. Yeah. So how has it taken you that long?
Well, basically, childhood brain, I think, was basically it. Well, I mean,
and it's lasted this long.
I don't know if you've ever played a Secret of Monkey Island, but basically, it's. Some of the puzzles are definitely obtuse.
They are ones where you've tried everything, and you basically just interact with every item against that item until you run out of things.
And sometimes you would never think of some of the answers.
This is it.
I think when I was younger, I managed to get onto the second act, which is quite an achievement itself because the first act is probably the longest act in the game.
Come off when
you actually leave Monkey Island, off Melee Island,
and then onto the ship. Yeah,
but I must admit, I could. Whilst I got to Monkey Island, I never was able to work out how to get onto Monkey Island, which which I did when I was adult. I was like, oh, it's really simple.
Yeah.
But I never really worked it out that when I was a kid. And obviously, this was me playing it probably on the Amiga originally. Back in the day.
I had it too.
Back in there.
But when 1 mega RAM luxury. Which is weird now because we're recording on a laptop that has 16 gigs. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's double my PC.
Yeah, anyway, it's probably got more like L2 cache memory. Some weird, obscure...
Oh, no. Well, I remember our first PC, which ran on Windows 3.1.
Yep, likewise.
Its hard drive was 8 meg.
Yeah, and that was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, well, it's an okay-sized hard drive.
I know we sound like crotchety old arseholes here, but I don't really care. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, we had our first PC... We had 3 games on our first PC. One was a crappy Tetris knockoff called Beyond Columns, which was quite fun, and I was, it satisfied
was
my...
basically Sega's way of...
Yeah, it's like, we don't have Tetris,
but...
Yeah. There was a jukebox that played, I think, 3 or 4 MIDI tracks that were all out of copyright. So it played like The Entertainer, Peter and the Wolf... and other stuff that I can't remember because it's really memorable.
Yeah.
There were certain, I think it was like keyboard commands that loaded the tracks in, and I don't think I ever figured out all the different ones.
Okay.
And then there was a jet game called F29 Retaliator, which I played quite a bit of. But that had an amazing bug. Did I ever tell you about that?
You might.
You parachuted out, and you could still control the plane.
Oh yes,
so you could just loop it.
I don't know if you ever said it like
smash into the pilot over and over again, and just all the way down to the ground. Just be like just flying straight through. It would never let you hit the pilot, but like properly in terms of it wouldn't react to you. But the funniest thing about it was I never quite figured out how to get good at that game. No. So I was like,
you were too busy playing with trying to crash. My
average session in the air was probably 48 seconds. A bit like my Alien Isolation survival mode save.
Bored now.
Face melted off. There's no need for that sort of language. Calling me a douche. Not unfair, but
no. Well, you would crash yourself into you. So.
Well, there is that. Right. So Secret of Monkey Island. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it was very fun, and it's one of the few games where the humour's actually held up pretty well.
Yes, agreed.
Age.
Yeah,
I was a bit worried when I was playing it. It's a bit like when I replayed through Day of the Tentacle last year. I was worried that is this going to hold up to my childhood memory?
Yeah,
and
it's tough.
I actually think Secret of Monkey Island holds up better than Day of the Tentacle.
Did you play, out of interest, did you play with the upgraded graphics, or did you play with the originals?
I played it with the upgraded graphics, but I did. Obviously, there is a button to switch between them, and I did obviously have a little look at the old graphics because it did, you know, for memory's sake. But obviously, I was a bit like, because I was actually replaying it on the Xbox version because it was free through.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I did have it on PC anyway, but I was like, it prompted me to go back and revisit it and actually see if I can finish it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, and I actually think it played better using the current scheme than it did actually going back to the old controls, because obviously the old controls went down to the old clicking on pickup, that sort of thing. Yeah. And so at least with the remake they simplified things a bit more.
Yes, they had the sort of interact with thing.
Yeah. It was like put to the shoulder buttons, which was a bit easier. I found enjoyed it. So
okay. So speaking of games that it took me a while to get to finishing, I've been playing. I've marked it as completed. Technically, I haven't, but it showed me the credits, and that's usually how I count it. So I thought I'd completed it.
I mean, I don't 100% games, but I complete it when I think it's complete.
Well, I saw the credits, and I was like, oh, this must be the end of the game. So I marked it down on my list, and then there was another mission at the end. I was like, oh, right, okay. So maybe I haven't completed it, but I'm counting it because I've finished the story, and this is just kind of an additional thing.
Okay.
Which is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Okay, I've not played that.
I had it on the DS years and years ago, and I played it for a fair bit, and I was like, this is pretty awesome. I really like this, and then I never finished it, and now I've got it on my iPod, so I'm just playing it on that. And you can play it on the iPad or the iPod Touch or the iPhone or whatever, and you can get the trilogy. I think it was on sale when I bought it because there's no way. I think it's like £12. There's no way I would have bought that for 3DS games. I can go and buy them cheaper in bloody Sex.
Well, yeah.
It's not CEX, apparently. It's Sex.
Yeah.
According to their advert. Go figure.
Yeah, who'd funk?
Well, quite so. But it's a really good game. It's basically like a car going past, apparently.
Yeah. No? I didn't realise that. I thought it was a law game.
It's basically like a law game. You do you go around all the different crime scenes, or the crime scene in all relevant places, and you pick up things, and you talk to witnesses, and you learn all this different stuff, and you get a sense of what's going to be useful, because they give you, like, you talk to a witness and they might give you a testimony on paper, which you can, because basically everything in court, you have to back everything you say up with a piece of evidence to support it.
Right.
When they're so in the courtroom bit, you're a defense attorney in the first one, so they say their thing, they say their version of events, and then you have to contradict them using evidence.
Okay, yeah.
So if they say, like, I definitely heard the shot at 8 o'clock, and you've got a piece of paper that says the body wasn't killed until 9, then you can use that, and it will make them change that, make them fix their story, and then you can pick apart the next bit and so on. Mm-hmm. But it's really, really fun. It's got that same kind of weird, quirky Japanese humour that I like about things like Professor Layton and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a little bit obscure.
It sounds like it's got a little bit, obviously not, it sounds a bit more less serious, but it got a sort of a LA noir feel to it as well.
Yeah, it's very much less serious than that, yeah. But it's got the same
obviously without the GTA style bits, obviously.
Yeah, you don't have to run around shooting your gun in the air.
Yeah. Or shouting, "Stop, LAPD," while everyone runs away from you.
Exactly. The funny thing about LA Noir is I forgot, because I went a long time without playing it between the first time and the second time.
Okay.
And I forgot how to just fire your gun in the air as a warning shot, so I used to just cap him in the leg.
Oh, right, yeah, I knew you could, you got to hold it for so many seconds or something.
Yeah, it's like without aiming or something like that. Yeah. I could never remember it, so I ended up just capping people in the leg to slow them down.
No, I normally just ended up just chasing him until I could rugby tackle into the ground.
Yeah, I should have done that in hindsight, but I like shooting people in the legs. What can I say?
Then get chewed out by your Irish boss.
Sociopathy. It's fantastic. All right, what's next?
Trying to think. At the moment, I've only played a bit of it. I must admit, I've gone away with it to do Watch Dogs, but I will come back to it. Which is, I was playing Torchlight 2 on, which I know is a bit of an older game, but I've come to it.
Cool. Still a great game.
Come to the party late on that one, but I enjoy it. I know why it's similar to the Diablo, because I know it's made by the same people who made the Diablo games. But my God, is it Diablo 2?
Very much.
I was like sitting there playing, and I was like, wow, if it was any closer, I was like, Blizzard going to sue somebody.
Lawyer's going to get some work.
But it is a great game in its own right, and I will persevere and finish it. I'm hoping, I've played it for about 7-8 hours, and as I say, I've got to like the second act, if you will, where it's like in the desert, and I thought, I was a bit worried because obviously Diablo 2 went like, wood to desert to jungle, and this has gone from wood to desert, and I was like, the next section is jungle,
Yeah, like the zero punctuation thing about like Mario games always being like grass world, sand world, ice world, boss.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's sort of, I'm a bit worried it's going to do that, but as I say, I'm enjoying it for what it is at the moment, and there it go. It might change your mind. You never know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Stranger things have happened, I'm sure. But you see, you haven't finished that one yet, but you're just playing.
No, as I say, I played it for a bit, but then I sort of got sidetracked by other games. So and but I do intend to go back and finish it.
Yeah, fair enough. So the next one I finished after that was The Order 1886. So this was another game I started ages ago, forgot all about, and that was another one I was originally gonna record, but then I was like, "Fuck me, this is slow."
Oh yes,
yeah. And I was like, "This isn't going to be. This is barely."
It's got some very nice bits in it. I wanted to like it. Let's put it this way: I wanted to like it because I liked the premise of the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally.
And that's what I said. I get the feeling if it wasn't so slow paced and actually put more game into it.
Yeah,
and they actually concentrated more on the actual game world. I would, and actually did a proper sequel and done it well. I would play it. I'd play the hell out of it, because I liked the idea of the world. I liked it. It had a lot of things, and there were lots of unanswered questions in it, which I wanted, like aspects of the certain companies and stuff like that. And I quite liked that, and it was just such a shame.
Yeah, I know what you mean. For me, it just kind of, the way I was describing it to people who were asking me was, it's really good while it's a game, and there's nowhere near enough game.
No, yeah,
it was just very.
If you were to put all the bits of game together, you probably play it in like a couple of hours, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's the thing I was finding was also it's a very dark game, not just in the terms of subject matter, and obviously it's quite grim, but also it's physically very dark.
Yeah, yeah.
And the problem I've got with my TV is it's a cheap set, and it's good in most respects. One thing it's not so good on is contrast.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it meant that if there was a bit like there's a bit in a warehouse where you're being attacked by wolves.
Oh yeah, I know the bit.
Lichens or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Wolves. They're wolves.
Yeah.
There's a bit in the warehouse where you're being attacked by werewolves. Yeah.
They're wolves.
And they're just coming at you from different directions, and the idea is you're supposed to either dodge or shoot them as they're coming at you.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even see where they were coming from because it was just that dark.
So basically, you were just an Englishman being mauled to death by wolves
in a warehouse. Yeah. In a closed warehouse. Just one day, he's like, "Oh, God blimey, Governor, somebody's done ripped this bloke apart." Love a duck, God blimey trousers.
I don't know why he let him. He had a gun and everything.
This gun's fully loaded, sir. It's not like you're not even firing a shot.
He didn't even get a shot off.
Well, I wonder if you could even see it, Terry. It's blinding dark in here, and so it is. Mary Poppins. But yeah, I ended up having to tinker with the brightness quite extensively just to be able to get through the game because it really was quite bad. But yeah, like I say, it was a good game.
You weren't like at the beginning of the game, like, please make sure that you can't see this image before starting the game.
I'm never sure how to interpret that. It's like, please make sure it's barely visible. That's a very subjective quality.
Yeah, yeah.
Please make sure you can't see. Yeah, please make sure you can't see the symbol on the left. Fine, I can do that because for me that's much easier to quantify. But it's like barely visible. What's their definition versus mine? You know, should it be like a shade apart, 2 shades? 3 shades?
I find that it doesn't make massive amounts of difference, and also you can adjust it anyway if you think it's too dark.
I was doing that in game. I'm just going to carry on doing that for every game now. I think it's easier. But yeah, let's say it was a good game. The problem I found with it was just there was nowhere near enough game for my game.
Okay.
And while I was playing it, I was very conscious of the fact that I was being steered through things very slowly at times, and I was having to watch a lot more than I played at times.
I felt the problem with the game, and it is a criticism I actually did read of some people.
Yeah,
is that it felt a bit like how some people lay into like
Gears.
Who are the people who make Quantum Break?
Remedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people lay into Remedy, like just make a film. Or Hideo Kojima, just make a film.
Or David Cage.
Yeah. It felt that Ready at Dawn sort of forgot they were making a game at one point, and it felt like they were.
Yeah.
They think that I think they made this amazing graphical engine, and and had a nice idea for a game world.
Sure.
And I mean the plot's okay. I mean, not doing any spoilers, but the ending was terrible.
Oh, the ending was awful. After all that, I thought if it's a good ending, at least I can deal with the game being a bit kind of under par.
But it just
God, it's awful.
It just didn't really transpire to be anything. No. That was the problem with it. Really,
that was the problem with it, wasn't it? So I tell you what, for the next couple of minutes, we're going to do spoilers for the Order. So if you haven't played the Order, come back at 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the worst anticlimactic ending I've ever had because you fight. Was it Luke? Like Lord Lucan?
Yeah. I
can't remember. Lucan?
Basically, there was what I remember, because obviously it was a while ago since I played it. Was obviously, you fight what I thought was always like the secondary bad guy. If you know what I mean.
And then you
beat
him.
Have a massive fight scene with him, you know, like big fist fight and everything. And then you kill it, and you think that, you're going to go after the head of the Order.
Yeah, he's like
the big baddie.
And he's turning around and going, walk away, and, kill him and then walk away, and you'll never be welcome back here and stuff. And you're like, all right. And then he just goes...
I assumed there was going to be another level where you go after the guy and kill him.
But then what ends up happening is he just goes, okay, bruh, bang, and then just leaves. And then there's an ending where he's on the roof.
And, I get the feeling it was meant to leave it for... it felt like it was trying to leave it open for a sequel.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But it did it in such a bad way that it doesn't deserve a sequel.
Ouch. Yeah. It was just, like I say, it's just... Everything about it up until that point was like, I can deal with... if the ending's really top notch, then I can deal with the fact that there's not a lot of game here.
No.
But it was just so bad.
But some games I can enjoy for story.
Yeah. Well, like Firewatch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a perfect example. I can enjoy a game as long as the story is good.
Yeah.
And those sort of games, because they're essentially narratively driven, that's what that. Are we at 30 minutes?
Oh, we're not there yet. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Order was a terrible game. But that was actually a good feed line for what I felt I could move on to.
Okay.
It's is actually the game I completed before Firewatch, which was Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, okay.
Which, I wouldn't say I was.
No, you're not going to tell me there's not enough game in Final Fantasy.
Oh no, there was certainly enough game in it. You know, the game. You know, it was I've never had a game where I felt so conflicted.
Okay.
It's an odd thing, and I'll explain why. Basically, it held my interest, and I played it for good, 40 odd hours probably. Yeah.
So if you came back at exactly 30 minutes, then we're talking about Final Fantasy 14.
No, 15.
15. So I'm losing track.
So we're talking about the new Final Fantasy 15. So you might want to rewind about 30 seconds.
No, that's fine. You're right. So,
but basically, I'm just saying how conflicted I was because, the game, the first so many chapters of the game are great. It's a big open world. It's a different style of combat, which I enjoyed. It's not as, I think if I had one gripe, it's like because it's not turn-based, I find it lost a lot of the strategy that the turn-based gaming it offered. I don't know if you've played many Final Fantasy games.
No, I played a few turn-based ones, but not Final Fantasy so much.
No, but you know the general thing, three people, press the attack, whatever.
Yeah, press attack until the other one falls down. Got it.
Yeah.
It's your go. It's knock him down.
Yeah. You've played enough role-playing games to know the sort of premise.
Yes, indeed.
But and it's nice that they're trying something different, and I respect that. But God, after the 8th chapter, the game just basically goes downhill.
Yeah.
It sort of goes more linear, so you don't have the open world. You can teleport back to the original the open world if you want to do like side quests and level up a bit more. But
right.
To be honest, there was no mission I was doing where I felt overpowered all the way through the game. To be honest, maybe because I spent enough time doing what I did until I got bored, basically.
Maybe, yeah.
Even though there was still stuff to do when I actually returned back after completing the game.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the plot is so simple yet unnecessary. There were some bits like it felt like it expected you to know things, and I know that there was a film that came out before it, and I know that there was also like a small like 3 or 4 part anime that came out.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to connect the dots with that stuff.
Which is fine. I mean, if I was an
avid
fan, I would have watched it. And I mean, I have bought the film, which I do intend to watch at some point because I know loosely what it follows, and I know and I have done a bit of background reading, so I know loosely what the plot is.
Yeah.
But it was so not really a factor that that by the end of the game I just sort of didn't care.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I felt like for a game where I thought I like love or hate the main protagonist, I actually got on with him, and I felt like whilst I didn't like him to begin with, they actually grew on me as I played the game. Because it's all about, it felt like it was more about your relationship with your friends in the car travelling around.
Right. I've seen the car stuff. Yeah.
And the combat's fun and stuff like that. And but I found by the end of it, I was a bit like, I was like, normally what I love about Final Fantasy games is, okay, some of them have batshit insane stories, but at least I feel drawn in and gripped by them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, Final Fantasy 7, 8, those sort of games, and 10, stuff like that, have great storylines. Yeah. But this one just didn't grab me at all.
Oh, that's a shame.
And by the end of it, I was a bit like, that. So, with all the good bits obviously there is the famous chapter 13, I think it is. Okay. Which is regarded as like one of the worst recently is one of like the worst bits in a Final Fantasy game ever, basically.
Oh wow, okay. Really that bad?
It goes to, as and I agree with it, one magazine referred to it as a terrible chapter that goes to PS2 level survival horror.
Oh no.
Basically there's a bit where it basically takes away all your weapons, and you have to sneak past all these guys, or you have like you do get a weapon, but it's so terrible it takes like half an hour to charge up.
Yeah, I'm making my less than impressed face for the listeners.
Yeah, but it's just. But it's not that the fact you feel like if it was just 10 minutes of it, it'll be fine. No, it feels like it lasts forever.
Wow,
it feels like it felt like a couple of hours
of
the game.
Yeah, was spent with just no power and everything.
Just doing all that crap, basically.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and it's those sort of things. And because it's so linear towards the end of the game, I felt like, I wanted there to be a point where you could, carry on and do what you were doing and that, and it just felt like the end was rushed, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I know they say they're going to change some bits of it, but I personally won't be bothering.
Yeah. So fair enough. Yeah, it's the thing I find about it is that you're saying about like how you can get the anime and you can get the connected film and stuff, but if you're coming away from it thinking that the story's not all that,
well, that's the thing. It wasn't a complex story. I was able to work it out.
Yeah, but if you're not impressed by it, and people are saying like,
I just had no real feeling towards the characters. You know, like when obviously when things happen to certain characters, some people, you're going to get married to someone and stuff like that. You just like, and the characters, even when you see cutscenes with them, you just don't I'm watching them and I don't know who you are. You've not really been properly fleshed out. And I just don't care.
That's the trouble, isn't it? If you get indifferences some way worse.
I was a bit like, I cared about, Final Fantasy VII, or like, when Aerith dies. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler for the first.
You've had ages.
Yeah, but it's been.
If you're holding out for the remake, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, it's been
do something. For years, fight me.
That sort of thing. But that built up a relationship with that character. Had you play over for pretty much the first disc of the game, and they offer at the end of the first disc, and that made you hit you hard, especially when
you're invested.
You're
and
invested.
You've been building her up.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah, you're like, I gave you all the best material, you bitch.
Yeah, she's just like Soz Blair.
Yeah. So that sort of thing was good, but the other characters, they didn't really have an impact in the game, and you find them later, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, that's certainly a person I've met.
Yeah, even the main bad guy, I didn't really feel that invested in.
No, you're just like, I'm going to succeed. It's like, go on then, mate.
I'm an evil guy.
Yeah,
that's nice. Good. Can I twat you now?
Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Hope it works out well for you. Anyway, I'm going to be over here.
The thing, I felt like there were a lot of the main characters were apart from your main four characters.
Yeah,
everyone else was underdeveloped. So.
That's a shame.
But I mean, if anyone else disagrees with me, I'm happy to
fight me.
Come at me, bro. But I just say I don't claim to be the biggest Final Fantasy fan.
No,
but,
sure.
I've played a good, few of them. I must admit, I've not like gone back and played all the old ones or anything like that, but pretty much 7, 8, 10, 13 and 15 pretty much.
Okay, so you played a fair chunk.
I played a few, so I can pretty much, I have played a bit of 12, but I can voice an opinion on them, and I just admit I wasn't that blown away by it personally. Yeah,
that's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm kind of I'm looking at my list, and there's only one left in terms of what I've actually finished. Okay. Which is Quantum Break. Actually, funny enough, we touched on it earlier, but I finally.
I still haven't played it since I last told you about the
Blake has forgotten that the microphone needs to be near his face. Just having. Sorry.
Sorry, I was having a drink. I found that I still only played the first part of Quantum Break, which I think was when I last talked to you about it. And so
first instalment.
So
they've done that Remedy thing again, where you can do it in episodes, which I quite like.
Yeah, I mean, from what I played, I think I played the first part and watched the first episode, and I must admit I stopped there. And I must admit, considering it's been a couple of months since I played it, I might have to start again from the beginning.
Fair, yeah. I went to. I learned, actually, this is worth knowing, there are actually 5 episodes of the game, but only 4 episodes of the TV show.
Oh, okay.
So, and obviously if you keep
I thought there was more TV episodes than that.
No, it's 4 between each of the... So there's 1 between each of the 2 chapters.
Oh,
so there's 1 between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and so on.
Oh,
so then chapter 4... Episode 4 follows chapter 4 and then sets you up for episode 5 of the game, which is the last episode of the game.
Oh, okay.
But it's really good. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's does it do recaps like Alan Wake did?
No, it was kind of in very very small parts, but like not to the same degree as Alan Wake does. I really liked the way Alan Wake did that, and it didn't feel like I was.
Because I was wondering if I went back to the game and if it would remind me of what happened. That was all.
I feel like it wouldn't. No. Okay. You might be better off starting again.
Yeah. Shame, because the amount of time I spent walking around talking to everyone in that park at the beginning of the game.
I would tell you what happened in the TV show, but of course you might not have seen the same episode I did.
No. Well, I know I know what choice I made, but I think you chose the opposite one. So yeah.
Yeah, we always have been contrarians to each other.
Yeah.
No, we haven't, you bastard.
Well, I kept the girl, and I think you offed it in the first episode.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I'm a cold-hearted bastard.
Yeah.
When it comes to playing anything I play as Aidan Gillen, I'm just going to be like Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, just be a complete prick. I should have pimped her out. That's what he would have done.
Yeah, I think I do vaguely remember.
What would Littlefinger do?
I just can't remember much about the actual TV episode. So unless you can rewatch
the TV show's really forgettable, to be honest. One thing I do like it because it does kind of give you a bit of flesh out of some of the characters, and it's like there's a period. I won't tell you. I won't go into detail about it. But there's one of the episodes where you encounter a character and they're like breathing really heavily, and you don't understand why.
Oh.
And then if you watch the TV show, you get context as to why they're breathing heavily.
Yeah.
And it's because they've been shot like 10 minutes before.
Oh, okay.
And they're basically just like holding it in pretty much. So, but you can't necessarily tell from just looking at them for reasons that will become apparent when you get there.
Okay. But I like that, when I watched the first episode, it did actually show some elements of, he showed you other characters and they're actually not the characters you thought. Because in the game, you assume, like from the first episode, you assume like this guy's like a big asshole basically. And he actually turns out he's actually he's actually more of a good guy.
He's a bit more complicated than just, I want to kill the world because reasons.
Yeah,
he's actually a bit more complicated than that, and I the characters are really good actually.
Oh no, I mean even like the side characters. Seemed
they're a bit more detailed, a bit more depth.
Because the bit I saw, like the guy who knocks you out at the end of the first episode, he actually turns out he's actually one of the good guys. Really.
Well, sort of. He's got a kind of a weird circumstance stuff going on with him, and but his story is quite it's kind of comes to a quite satisfying sort of
No, I will go back and revisit it.
It's worth doing.
It's like it's one of those annoying things because I think it's like normally obviously I play quite a few games when Kat's not about.
Yeah,
and obviously she likes me watching me play some games. So obviously, like it was good playing like shorter games like Firewatch, for example.
Yeah.
But, when it comes to those sort of games, obviously I've got to make sure she's available. I'm available.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Blah, blah, blah. And then it's also playing the game and then sitting there for a half hour watching the show.
Yep. Yeah. No, I can relate. That's the other thing as well, is I was finding myself going, I'm not going to do episode 5 of the game because I thought there'd be an episode 5 of the show.
Okay.
So I thought I need to allow about 3 or 4 hours for the whole thing.
Okay.
But actually, once you finished episode 5 of the game, then you finished episode 5 of the game and that's it. You see credits and then you get a little epilogue that sort of sets up what might happen next.
Okay.
Without
so
saying
it
too
could
much.
potentially be a sequel.
They could. To be honest, though, the way they did it is in a way that's pretty satisfying anyway. So it's fine.
It ends, but could carry on. If
exactly. Yeah.
A bit like the first series of Stranger Things.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it. It's on my list, but then it's a big list.
No, do definitely watch it. I mean, it does. The series itself is a self-contained story, but obviously they could have carried it on. But if it wasn't as successful, it could have ended there. And
that would have been
a little
fine.
bit of ambiguity, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But
to be fair, I watched Donnie Darko and was happily like, yep, fine, whatever, and didn't question anything there. So maybe I don't care about story because it doesn't always make sense, that film, but I do love it.
Oh no, I do like it, and I think like a lot of films, I understand it up until. I think I'm okay with most of it up until the last few minutes, and then I go, nope, lost me.
Yeah. No.
It's a bit like Akira. I'm okay with that mostly up until the last 5 minutes of that film.
Yeah, that's on my list as well. So I've got the Blu-ray over there somewhere, but in the fridge. Nice, cold, delicious
if you
movie.
like anime, definitely watch that film.
Yeah. I like some. I have a somewhat of a liking of anime. I'm not like a massive fanboy, but I have a few.
I don't claim to be a massive fan, but I do. It does worry me sometimes that it feels like I see some of these people that go like, oh, I love all these animes and list off all these things, and yet they've never seen Akira, and I just feel like going, really? I'd have thought that would have been one of the first. With tracks back, But
well, maybe
surprises me.
It depends. It might be hipsters, in which case,
well, that's the thing. Akira's quite old now, so maybe I'm being an anime hipster by telling people they should watch that.
Well, no, it's possible that they're being hipsters by not looking at the most popular example, and also if they are hipsters too, you can ignore them completely because their opinion doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm kidding, hipsters. Come at me on vinyl. So, what are you playing at the moment then? Not right now. Obviously, we're sat here talking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Watch Dogs is what I'm playing.
Oh, Watch Dogs is what you're playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
also want to start a new Let's Play video, which obviously to come out. But
we've chatted about it.
I'm still umming and ahhing at what I want to do.
I have that problem. Do you find it kind of the choice is almost paralysing?
Yeah,
you find yourself going
games, and I know that if I start one, I'm obviously invested to it until the end. If you know what I mean.
With me, I'm kind of like,
or at least till a point where I go like,
I've done enough now.
I can finish this game. I've saved myself dead, basically.
Yeah, I find myself like looking at the games on my selection and going, that'd make a good video, but I don't fancy recording a video right now. So I guess I won't play that game.
That's the reason I've been playing Watch Dogs more, because I've gone. I think just recently I've got home from work and I'm like, I can't be bothered. I'm not going to. I will not be entertaining to anyone today.
No, that's fine. To be fair, I mean, obviously, I spend most of my week editing, recording, and doing various types of things like that. So I'm just like, no, fuck off. It's my evening off.
I want me time.
Yeah, I get enough just about, but obviously it is quite a time-consuming process to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. So and also recording videos, that especially because
especially the way I want to do it.
Because you're probably doing it in a more clever way. I'm more.
Well,
I'm more simpler when I'm just using basically the PlayStation's recording functionality to do my videos, but which obviously I know isn't as clever as using like DPR or anything like that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, recording on the PS4 is infinitely so much easier than the Xbox One. The Xbox One is, I don't understand why it's so obnoxiously obtrusive. It's like you talking about the PS4 recording, right? So you record your thing. You hit the share button twice to start the recording off, and then you hit the share button again once to finish.
Yeah.
And then it just saves it as a clip.
Yeah.
On the Xbox, if you want to record ahead, you have to snap game DVR and then start a new clip. You can only do 5 minutes. You can't do any more than that.
Yeah. That's the other problem I have, is that the PlayStation, I find, only does 15 minutes. Which
it does up to 60 now, I think.
Oh, can it do it up to 60? Oh,
yeah, I've not tried it. I've not tried it, but
when I last was able to do it, it only did it at 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you a warning when it's about to run out. So
no, that's
I
annoying.
was recording some things,
dead annoying,
and then I was talking, and it just got blah, and then it just stopped, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'm going to find a way to make it easier to manage, because it's just easier.
I hope you've enjoyed us whinging about the the difficulties of just trying to do basic Let's Plays. I know without using probably proper Let's Play tech, really.
Yeah, this is it. I think there's probably ways around it, isn't there? I mean, we're just being part of the problem is I've got a really nice gaming laptop now that I could easily use for recording Let's Plays on my PC, and I've got all the software to do it. What I really need is a second screen, just to keep the software on, and then I can record, and then I can actually play on the laptop, and then and see what's recording on the other screen.
Yeah,
it's just really annoying that I don't have one, because I used to have one. I gave it away, and now I regret that, because I wish I'd kept it. Yeah, that's generally why you regret things you give away.
Normally, yeah, I can feel.
Yeah, well, that's it. But yeah, so round off then. So the one I'm playing at the moment is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay, good game.
I finally went back and started it again, because what I found was, one, I didn't have any idea what I was doing, to the point where I'd forgotten basic controls again.
Yeah.
And
which
two,
is what I'm worried about with Quantum Break.
Yeah, my character's face, I'm not sure what I did, right? I can only assume that I was still getting used to things like cheek depth on the sliders, because
so
it looks
a massive face.
It looks like Felicia Day melted. So I changed her to a more kind of, I didn't tinker as much with I did change the hair and put a scar on and stuff. And basically she's this kind of cute ginger elfin kind of looking thing. It's like pretty standard. She's a bit more like the real Felicia Day, actually.
Yeah, I was okay when I created my character in Dragon Age Inquisition, but I must admit, when I first played the first ever Mass Effect, and I was sitting there trying to
that character creator or something,
I could never create anyone that looked any good.
No.
So in the end, I was just like, you know what, sod it. I'm just going to take the original male shepherd and just play it like that.
I had bleach blonde black dude with tiny eyes. It looked like...
You have tiny eyes.
A bit like Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man, except somebody had put a flipped magnifying glass. Or like maybe Chris Tucker's Fifth Element character out of his out of his costume, just like in a sort of normal civilian scrubs. Yeah, you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Yeah, but I'm playing. I'm playing that. I went back and started completely from scratch. I think I just got to the Trantry and Valrio at the first time I played, and I'd lost about. I mean, realistically, I probably lost about 12 to 15 hours because I was dicking around in the hinterlands a lot.
The hinterland. If I had one gripe about that game, is that you spend way too much time in the hinterlands at the beginning of the game. But once you get out of there, the game really opens up, and it's a lot better.
Yeah, this is what I'm finding now. Is like now that I've got Skyhold.
Yeah, once you get into Skyhold, and then you're visiting other areas.
Yeah.
The game is so much better.
It's really good.
I mean, the hinterlands there's still things in the hinterlands that you can revisit at later levels.
Yeah, like locked doors.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I found that I must admit, I found the hinterlands a slog.
Yeah, it's tough. But I think it must be counting both my saves combined as my playtime, because it's saying I've done 86 hours. I'm fairly sure I haven't.
No.
I'm fairly sure I've done it feels like I've done about 40. Yeah. But then I don't know where the other 36 are coming from, because I'm saying 12 to 15 for the first playthrough.
Put that many hours into.
No, Fallout 4 is the last one I did more than 70 hours on.
Yeah, Fallout 4.
And that was nearly 80, I think, or 90.
God. Fallout 4, after I did the DLC, I think went into the 5 days.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, of course, it's in days, isn't it? Yeah. I can't even remember now.
It was definitely over 100 hours.
I need to do the DLC because I haven't.
The Witcher must have been over 100 hours.
I've not even started that yet. That might be next on my PS4. Possibly.
I played it on Xbox One.
Yeah,
definitely worth picking up.
I pulled out. The trouble is, I've been trying to get out of this kind of paralysis of choice that I suffer from, because basically I get overwhelmed by choice. If I have too many, I need to, and I choose to focus myself. And what I do is I put the discs in the cupboard. This doesn't work for digital, unfortunately, but I put the discs in the cupboard, and I count the number of discs in the cupboard, and I say to Jen, pick a number between 1 and that many. So it's like 10 discs in the cupboard. Pick a number between 1 and 10. She says 6. I pull that number 6 and play it.
Okay.
So at the moment,
that's one way of doing it.
Yeah. So on disc-wise, I'm playing Recore. Okay. On the Xbox. So I got that for Christmas.
I've recently picked it up. I haven't started it.
It's good.
It's
I like
on my
it.
to play.
It's a really, it's a very simple game, but I really like it.
Okay.
And really, it's beautiful.
I picked up Watch Dogs and Recore at the same time.
Cool.
And unfortunately, Watch Dogs got picked first. So,
well, yeah, fair enough.
So Recore will follow afterwards.
They're both good.
I also, as a Valentine's Day present, Kat got me Attack on Titan.
Nice.
So, but I've only literally just done the training mission. I haven't actually played it properly.
Haven't picked it up at all. I get the feeling it's the kind of thing, if I play it, Jen won't particularly like it because it's quite gruesome.
Yeah, it's also...
Obviously the Colossal Titan's quite scary looking.
Yeah. And obviously I was used to watching it in dubbed, and it's obviously in Japanese. It's subtitled.
I watched it in the original I watched it in the original Japanese with subtitles.
You'll be fine then.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
It's in Japanese subtitled.
Right. Okay.
But I was like playing it. I was going like, oh, the voices are weird.
Yeah. What I ended up doing is I forgot that you can change the audio track on Netflix when I was watching it. So I just assumed that was the only way it came.
Oh,
I only realised about halfway through the series that I could change it to English. Yeah. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'll just stick with this then.
I was being a bit... I don't know why. I always check if I know there are some anime fans, probably hipsters again, that they go...
Prefer it that way.
They prefer it in Japanese with subtitles, which is fine. I respect that.
There are some animes,
quite a few films and animes in Japanese with subtitles, and I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
But normally, if I find there is an option to watch it in dubbed, I just choose to watch it in dubbed.
That's fair enough.
I just find that it just makes it easier. I think, I find normal Japanese films I prefer to watch subtitled.
Okay.
But unless it's a kung fu movie, because I just find kung fu movies are so much better dubbed.
I was going to say, because the subtitles don't really kick, punch.
Yeah.
It's all in the mind. I played the demo of that the other day. That's quite fun.
Yeah.
Jen was sitting there going, what the fuck is going on? Because what she's watching is a small dog being trained in martial arts by a giant onion.
To be honest, when I actually watched it, because it has that opening cutscene as well.
It's ridiculous,
the cutscene is a load of old...
It makes no fucking sense at all.
I think the game never made any sense.
There's like 3 or 4 anthropomorphic dogs all having a smoothie in the thing, when a giant sort of jock-looking one comes in. And then he
chat up a flower.
Trying to chat up a flower, of course she is, yeah. And then you have another bloke, Captain fucking Mansplain, who comes in and he's just like, well, let me tell you about this. Actually, and he he goes off for about what looks like 20 minutes because Parappa has time.
Parappa goes off and daydreams about becoming a karate kid.
He has time to daydream about a full music video, and he comes back and the guy's still going. Yeah, yeah. It's just I shouldn't use the word mansplain. I shouldn't legitimize shit like that.
It's actually insane. I felt that when I played the demo, I felt that whilst it was fun, it's definitely a product of its time.
Oh, very much so. It's dated
I thought it
horribly.
had dated badly, personally.
But it's dated horribly, yeah. But it's still kind of nostalgic fun because my sister used to love watching her play that because she used to just squeeze as many.
I used to just play that demo, admittedly.
Yeah, she played the whole game, and in fact, I think she played both. It was PS2, right?
PS1. No,
first one was PS1.
The first one was PS1,
and then the sequel was PS2.
There was Jamalami, which was basically a guitar version of it.
And then Parappa 2 was PS2, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So she played the first one a fair bit then, and then she played the second one as well. But the first one, I remember she used to stick every single word in multiple times in the space. Okay. So she'd just be like, kick, punch, punch, as many times as she could physically manage.
It doesn't knock you down for that.
No, it only knocks you down if you miss it completely. Yeah. Kick, punch, kick, punch. She would just throw together her own scat stuff.
Yeah.
Just like she'd be Scatman Parappa.
I was, for a game that's meant to be rapping, I was sort of just doing that rap, and I was just like, it doesn't sound good though.
No,
and I think
those
sort of games. I mean, Jamalami was a bit better because you were basically being the guitarist in a band, and you were it was basically very early Guitar Hero, I suppose, on a pad.
Yeah, sure.
But also because it was made by the same people as that, it had that sort of stupid plot, and everyone was made of paper. It was set in the same world as Rapper. But I sort of preferred it because there was it was more rock songs rather than rap songs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand.
So I sort of enjoyed the music of it more.
Yeah. Even
though, again, probably has aged terribly if I were to ever pick it up again.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that about wraps it up then, I guess, in terms of what we played up till now.
Yeah. If there's any games you've been gaming, obviously let us know. We're happy to. We'd like to hear your opinions, and if you have any questions about that, or if you basically want to whinge at if you just basically go, why don't you like Final Fantasy 15? And then
come at me, bros.
I look forward to your comments. It was just one never gelled with me. So
fair enough.
I respect people that like it.
So if you want to tell Blake why you think he's wrong for his opinion, which is subjective, I might add.
But obviously I do appreciate that I'm essentially broadcasting on the internet.
Yeah, fine. That's what happens. So if you want to get in touch and tell Blake your opinion of Final Fantasy 15, you can email us at podcast@emotionally14.com. So that's emotionally14.com is the website where you can find all the stuff we do. We have the E14 Gamecast and our sister podcast, The Crazy Train, which is the comedy podcast with no rails. I've been your host, Rob Wade. With me been Blake Harmer, because I forgot to do surnames at the beginning because I was just chatting away. You can find us on the internet on iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, and Stitcher Radio, and YouTube by searching for Emotionally14. That's the provider that we are part of, Emotionally14, and that will take you to any and all of the wonderful things that we put out on the internet. So if you've enjoyed the show, feel free to rate, review, like, share, subscribe, all the different things you can do on all the different respective websites. We love you for all of it. And thank you very much for listening to the E14 Gamecast. Game off. Pew! I didn't know how to end. I'll figure that out one day.
Oh, 1 minute. Wah, wah.